All right. This is the Between Two Firms podcast, episode 4.
Like, wait a minute. Let's reframe this just one second.
These are good problems to have.
And what we can do with money to help our family over generations.
Been working towards my entire career when I decided, you know what, I think I need to do my own thing.
And I'm like, awesome.
Our guest today is Lauren Dozier, and I had a great time chatting with Lauren. Good conversation, a lot of takeaways. But before we talk about the show itself, Matt, how you doing, dude?
Well, considering that we recorded 3 of these on the same day, I'm
No change.
I made a poor attempt at
The wardrobe change.
Made a
Just
poor
change it.
attempt.
Oh yeah, new episode. Oh, look at that.
We're fairly busy here. Fairly being a bit of an understatement, but we're getting by.
Getting by. Yeah, we got a little bit behind in the first. Well, a little bit behind, and we also are just, admittedly, transparently, kind of figuring this whole thing out of how we're producing these podcasts and putting them together. And it's not rocket science, but there's definitely some a little bit of a learning curve just from a process standpoint. So yeah, we got a little bit behind on doing our intros and outros and doing them the way we want to do them. Going
I was
forward,
talking
so.
about the actual bookkeeping and stuff.
Oh, well, that too.
Yeah.
But that being busy
Balancing
with the
that,
actual
yeah,
client work
yeah.
is why we're right. We're trying to balance producing this, and so yeah, that's why if anybody's watching on video, Mom, if you're watching on video, that's why we've got the same clothes on in 3 of these in a row. Because believe it or not, we just ripped them back to back to back. So
Yeah.
anyway, but we'll I don't think that's what matters. I think it's the substance.
No,
I think
no,
it's the
no.
substance that matters.
Yeah.
I think this is just, the cosmetic. It's much deeper. It's much deeper than what we're wearing in these intros and outros. I don't think people are coming here for the fashion. I could be wrong.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
anyways.
Yeah, certainly not yet. But yeah, dude, good cop out answer. Nothing. You're not up to anything. No change.
I think you have a pretty good visibility of what I've been up to if you
Yeah, Matt's-
dig into it.
just slaving away. Matt's office, the wage cage was affectionately known as the wage cage. Matt's office, has a sliding glass door. Matt got the privilege when we moved into this office. Matt got the privilege of he got the biggest office in the space.
That's
for
not.
himself.
That is.
It was a
not
privilege.
True.
It's a
It's the second-
that
it
is
is the-
objectively true.
It is the second biggest
Objectively.
office.
Whose is the biggest?
Yours,
not
of
mine.
course. Yours,
No,
of
it's not.
course.
Clearly not.
It may be in the editing post process. I could put up
gonna pull up
the floor plan
The floor plan
and
diagram.
let it be known that his office is bigger
I
and less awkwardly. Mine's rectangular, and
Oh,
it's
now
it's a highly functional space that has been taken over by. It's got my workspace and then also the podcast studio. Is inside my office.
Studio is a strong word for what we've built thus
The
far.
podcast
but
chair is
the
inside my
podcast
office.
chair with the 2 plants that we got
Yeah.
on either side of it. No, that's true. But I categorically, I mean, let the evidence speak for itself. But I categorically reject the claim. There's no
All right,
way
well-
my office
We'll
is bigger.
have
There's
it in
no way.
post processing.
It would defy the again. I mean, it would defy the laws of physics. There's no way. I just walk in your office. It's just obvious yours is bigger. But with the biggest office, came
Again, are you referring to
No,
yourself?
I'm
'Cause
referring
you
to
have
yours. I'm referring to yours. Until I see evidence to the contrary. Yours is the biggest office, and with the biggest office came the sliding glass door, which I, for one, appreciate because I never know what the hell you're up to in there, and I just want to make sure that that you're working. Gotta make sure you're working. Got billing those hours, dude.
Yeah,
Can't have you.
There's a big issue with trust in our organization, and no,
Just-
I I'm probably gonna have the door replaced, if not put on a privacy filter of some kind.
I like the ability to kind of check in, make sure you're okay, make sure those fingers are moving.
As
The-
resident mine foreman, having the ability to tighten things up.
Whoops. Yeah, no, I like it. I wouldn't have it. It's definitely not something that I thought we needed, but now that we have it,
The glass
I think-
door.
the glass door. I think as we add staff,
Okay.
we'll just everybody.
I think we've gone off on way too big a tangent here.
All right, let's bring it back in. So anyway, the bottom line is if your office doesn't have glass doors, we would recommend investing in them. No, dude, jokes aside, I think this was a great episode. Lauren brought up a lot of interesting stuff and a lot of good points. But one of the things, well, I don't know. What do you? Before I share mine, what was your kind of major takeaway, if any?
Yeah, we were talking about it before we recorded. Well, she's got a slightly bigger team than us on the billable work side.
Yeah.
And they're doing work that's a little bit more closely embedded into the company.
Yeah.
Like more back house stuff that we don't currently offer as a service. And yeah, it was interesting to hear her talk about that. And we touch some of those things, but we don't kind of drill down into, I guess, the full capability of, making it more hands off for the client in that way.
Yeah. Her controllership, she talked about offering controllership services, and that's something that I wouldn't say we offer controllership services. I would say we definitely have clients whose services have evolved to more than what I would consider
The standard, yeah.
traditional or like simple bookkeeping. So maybe we're like somewhere in between. But that's something that as she continues to develop, I definitely plan to re-engage her on, because it's something that I've thought about, right? It's on the list of things, right? But we've got we have like an advisory framework that we use.
Yeah, and we kind of touch a lot of those things, but as far as like the actual
structuring it,
and they're also not packaged,
that's really
and then the other thing, I guess, I don't know how deep you want to talk about this here, but she's one of the maybe second or third people that have brought up double versus financial sense, which I guess I think following her call, we had kind of a introductory call into that, and so exploring that as an option.
She made me self-conscious about
I'm resistant to change, and I kind of
I'll say it.
Well, I think I have some gripes, but I think that our current workflow is not broken with financial services.
No, I definitely don't. After doing the demo with Double or
formerly
Keeper, the artist formerly known as Keeper. After doing the demo with them, I felt that it was apparent that Keeper for bookkeeping specifically is a better system than Financial Sense, at least as it currently exists. The thing that really got me excited was their reports, the ability to like send the clients non-generic PDF, QuickBooks export reports at the click of a button. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But I agree. I don't think that's the limiting factor in our business right now, and I am loath to blow up our processes right now to make that switch. So maybe something.
We're pretty leveraged at this point in time.
So
definitely interesting to be aware of and look into in the future.
Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, my biggest takeaway from we're going a little long, but my biggest takeaway talking to Lauren was the fact that so we recorded these out of order, but Lauren is our fourth guest now, and man, all four. But this is something I found interesting, that I just hadn't been expecting.
Yeah.
But all 4 of our guests so far, when asked, and maybe part of it is just the fact that, we're talking publicly and whatever, and I get that. But all 4 guests have said that their primary motivation, or have indicated their primary motivation for getting out there and starting their own firm, was not compensation based. Nobody has been like, oh, I just felt the compensation, or I could. Nobody has said that. 0 people, precisely 0, have said that.
Yeah.
Everybody's motivation has been from a work-life balance or a holistic, like flexibility kind of perspective. And Lauren is episode 4 and was the not the 4th one in sequence, but the 4th one in the sequence that the listeners will hear it to bring that up. And I just think that's it's really interesting, at least for me. And it made me think about the fact of like, we're in a growth phase and we want to keep growing the business, and we are, but like I've got young kids at home and want to do things outside of this office, and just kind of help keep things in perspective of like,
it seems like it's for sure an industry specific sort of advantage if you structure things right, but conversely if you take on a little bit too much, then it can be the opposite.
Run yourself out to the ground off of Cherry Coke Zero and just collapse at your desk, just have a die at your desk. It's certainly also possible. So anyway, we'll enough chit-chatting about the interview. We can get into it and let the listeners derive value.
Yep, let's let you guys get into it. I'm joined today by our guest, Lauren Dozier, coming from Bentonville, Arkansas. Lauren, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good, and I'm really excited to have you on today. Thank you so much for taking the time. Like I said, we're chatting a little bit before we start. It should be a good time.
Yeah.
So before let's just go ahead and jump into it. Before we go into talking about your practice and diving into the weeds of running an accounting firm, why don't you just tell us your story and how you got into accounting and what got you into starting your own practice.
Yeah. Well, I'm a financial analyst and accountant by trade. I went to the University of Arkansas, woo pig. So I had majored in finance, minored in accounting, and at that time, I actually really hated accounting. I was like, this is just soul-sucking work, right?
Fair.
But after I graduated and joined the workforce and was able to see accounting in like actual real world scenarios, then I really enjoyed it. Like being able to see that what I was doing was actually like it was real numbers that was impacting a real business and not just, numbers on a test or something like that.
Sure.
And then we think of accounting as being very black and white, but the gray and like the analysis that's involved was really exciting for me. So the analytics side of things and telling a story with financial statements and figuring out what the drivers are and all that was something that I really enjoyed and didn't expect to. So I'd worked at a Fortune 500 company for about 6 years and loved it. Never expected to enjoy a career like that and planned to stay there my whole career. And then I had a baby during COVID.
Yep.
And things suddenly became more complicated.
Sure.
So I, about a month after I returned from maternity leave, I said, this ain't it. I can't do the full-time thing. And thankfully they were gracious enough to let me try part-time. So I actually worked part-time for the next year, and it still got to a point where it just wasn't sustainable for our family, and it just wasn't what my kid needed at the time. So through many tears, I retired early. Like I said, I would have stayed there forever, but that wasn't what was right for my family at the time. So
Sure.
I left and was, full-time stay-at-home mom for about, trying to remember the timeline. So my daughter was, like, I guess 18 months old. So, it was a couple, like 3 years probably that I was out of the accounting space. And, literally was still dreaming about lag accruals and monthly close, which is like, how weird, I was dreaming about accruals. Yes. I just loved it. So when my second daughter was, I guess, a month old, I had 2 kids at the time, and was like, I have to do something with my brain other
Yeah.
than, changing diapers and tracking laundry. Like, I have
Sure.
to do something. Um, so like dove really deep into personal finance, actually, which has always been an area of interest for me. But
Mhm.
I was like binge watching the Money Guy show and just like taking in everything that I could, and it was really mentally stimulating and enjoyable for me. But at the point that I was presenting like a retirement strategy to my sister, like based on her finances, she goes, "You should get a job and stop doing this for free." She's
That's
like, "Your
fair.
brain is craving numbers, and you should stop doing this for free. Like, somebody should pay you to do this."
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I need to get back into it. Clearly, I'd just been missing it the whole time I'd been away.
Yeah.
And so starting a bookkeeping business, because that's originally how I started, was like just bookkeeping. That had been on my radar for probably 2 years.
Okay.
And I just, every excuse in the book, like, oh, it's not like I don't have enough time, and, all this stuff.
Mhm.
Um, so when my second daughter was 2 is when I finally was like, it's time. I'm gonna just buckle down and do it.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm really proud of. Like, I just started a business while I had like 2 young kids at home, and
Yeah. The full
you know,
send.
found a way, found the time. And then, you know, I look back on this and I'm like, you know, it's crazy that it happened this way, but like I started my business and then maybe a month later, like got my first client, which was just through word of mouth.
Yeah.
And ended up being a great client and has opened a lot of doors for me. So I'm very grateful for how the kickoff started with that.
Mhm.
So like I said, had initially been thinking, well, it's just going to be like a one-woman show. I'm just going to do bookkeeping. And then quickly realized I should probably have more people involved. So I asked my best friend actually to join me. I was like, please, 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 can you help me with this? So and that's been great too. Just, I mean, right from the get-go to have at least 2 sets of eyes on everything so that,
Yeah.
we're ensuring quality and control for the output that we have for our clients.
Sure.
And then things just have continued to grow.
Mhm.
And so I've been in operation for a little over a year and 4 months or something like that.
Okay.
In that time, I mean, we've added multiple contractors. So I have an actual team, like I'm running staff meetings now, which is so exciting.
That's
Um,
exciting.
we have 5 clients with more in the pipeline. So it's just very exciting, and things have grown beyond what I had initially envisioned
Sure.
for the business. Um, and I kind of stumbled into offering controllership services also.
Okay.
It was just a natural extension of what we were doing with bookkeeping, and played really well with my experience as a financial analyst. It was just, I couldn't help but do it,
Yeah. It just kind of felt natural.
Yes, yeah. So at the end of the year, as I'm reflecting on, how I want things to move forward, like I need to lean into that more and like own what I'm already doing. Like I am providing accounting and controllership services. I need to just add that to the website. That's
Sure.
what we do.
Sure.
And yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I really enjoy. So it's been very exciting.
Yeah. Well, and what so you started with just bookkeeping, and why did you decide to start strictly bookkeeping?
It seemed like something that I would be able to do easily, I guess.
Yeah.
I hadn't had any experience with QuickBooks and like the
Sure.
actual day-to-day bookkeeping, but I had done basically that for a Fortune 500 company. It's like,
Right.
okay, I have the skill set to do this. I just need to
Right.
figure out how to apply it to, a smaller business.
Right.
And I guess I didn't realize at the time, but like starting starting a bookkeeping business seems to be very popular now. So
Yeah.
I didn't quite realize that I was on the receiving end maybe of some marketing for like, hey, here's a great idea. And it just kind of come across my path, and I was like, that is a great idea. I think I would really enjoy that. Like, let's do
Sure.
this.
Was there like a specific YouTube influencer or something
Oh
that
gosh.
sucked you
Yes.
into the bookkeeping?
I don't remember the name of her channel. I'm pretty sure her name is Morgan Law, but she does a lot of like, starting a bookkeeping business
Gotcha.
things. So I watched her stuff for a little bit. Yeah, and it just kind of, once you start watching those things, you get a
Sure.
lot.
Yeah, right. It sucks you
Yeah.
in. Right.
But
No,
that
that's
was
awesome.
so on the one hand, got a lot of value out of people sharing their experience and advice. And I think on the other hand, I kind of used it as an excuse to delay starting my own thing.
Sure. Sure.
So I was like, oh, I don't know exactly what questions to ask during a
Right.
discovery call. I should watch 5 more videos about,
Videos right before we start.
you
Yeah,
know,
and it's crazy
it-
how much you learn just doing a discovery call,
yes,
right?
at some point you have to just do it.
You
So
gotta just send it,
yeah,
right?
I quit procrastinating and just did it. And it's been awesome. So it checked a lot of boxes for me, being able to work remote and set my own schedule, but also, it's not like I had never thought about debits and credits and then just decided to start a business. Like this is, my training and my experience.
Right.
And I'm just, doing it on my own now rather than working for somebody else.
Sure. Sure. And one of the interesting things, so because we started kind of the same way. We started with just doing bookkeeping and then kind of have branched off from there.
Mhm.
And that is one of the nice things about doing bookkeeping is that there's a natural second, third, and fourth. There's a natural progression of services that you can offer the client
Yeah.
because you're seeing everything, right? And so you know where there's gaps that need filling. For you, I mean, you already kind of explained the jump to controllership or to offering controller services was kind of natural. But when you say bookkeeping and controller services, like how do you guys package or what's kind of your scope of work for a typical client?
Mhm. So bookkeeping is, everything from categorizing all of the bank transactions, doing all of the account reconciliations, and preparing financial statements. So even with our like base level package for bookkeeping, there is a little sprinkling of controller in there, I would
Okay.
say. Because, we are putting together the financial statements, but we're not just running a report in QuickBooks and sending them the Excel file. Like we're putting together an actual report packet and then providing comments and analysis.
Okay.
Because,
And you do that for all your clients. Okay.
that's what we do
Okay.
for all the clients.
Okay.
So when I said I stumbled into controllership, with my first client, I was doing all the things, and then
Yeah.
realized after I was doing all the things, like this chunk of analysis doing over here maybe isn't what every other bookkeeper is doing.
Yep. Mhm.
Maybe
Yeah.
I need to like tier this a little bit.
Right.
So that's how it happened. But it was
Gotcha.
just a natural progression for me and my personality. And like, once I start digging into something, it's like, oh, what about this? What about this?
Right.
And it
Now-
just happened pretty naturally from there.
Oh yeah. I mean that's literally exactly kind of
Really?
what our experience has been. Yeah, because I mean the bookkeeping, it's easy to find clients and it's important work. But I'm with you. Like for me, the part that's much more interesting is, well, now that we have the books, let's interpret the books and let's give some feedback based on the books, and is the more advisory portion of it
Mhm.
of the work, and versus just categorizing and running
Mhm.
reconciliations. And so it's interesting to hear that. Like I said, it's
Yeah.
a similar progression.
Yeah.
So now before we jumped on, I was kind of taking a look. You guys also do payroll, is that correct?
Begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly. Okay. And so when you say that, because this is something that this is a conversation that we're having right now. When you guys say that you guys do payroll,
Mhm.
that is you offer full service payroll. So you're doing payroll.
We're doing payroll. We're doing payroll. I don't love it, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it when I say that I offer payroll begrudgingly, I don't think I've had a single conversation with an existing client or a potential client that did not involve payroll.
Yeah.
Because in theory, if you're a business owner and you have salaried employees and everything is pretty run of the mill, like it's going to be the same every month. You can set it on autopilot and it just kind of does its own thing, and
Goes.
you
Sure.
don't need you don't need your accountant to run payroll for you. So with a lot of service based industries, that's probably the setup. But there are going to be those one-off questions where they're like, hey, can you like pull this pay stub, or hey, I have a question about this, or maybe we need to add a one-time reimbursement for an
Yep.
employee. They're just like little things that keep coming up.
Right.
So you've got to at least know how to do some of the really basic stuff. But when we like officially started offering payroll, it was when I had an incoming client that was in the restaurant industry, and
Okay.
all of their employees are hourly.
Yep.
You have tip allocations, and then like
Yeah.
there's just a lot.
Right.
So yeah, I actually brought on a payroll specialist specifically for that client, so that I knew I
Gotcha.
had somebody really experienced running that. Um, and that's
Is
that's
that
pretty
somebody in-house, or is that one of your contractors that you
one of my
mentioned?
contractors.
One of
Yeah,
your contractors. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that
So
something that it's a similar in our business? We have done payroll. We call it payroll support. And
okay,
so basically, when we're on a discovery call, or going through kind of the sales process with a prospective client, we will tell them, look, we will do payroll support, which to us is everything regarding your payroll except for the actual entering of hours and hitting run. And so if you we require all our clients to move their payroll to Gusto if they want the payroll support. We don't mess with QuickBooks Online Payroll. We've had, I don't know, what software do you guys run payroll in?
QuickBooks payroll, and it's
Yeah, we just
so
had
lucky.
we just had so many issues with it. With posting, like it'll post the journal entry. It's not even technically a journal entry in QuickBooks, but it'll post the journal entry like off by a penny, and then there's no way for you to fix it. You got to call their support, or
Yeah.
they won't draw the they won't do the withholding. So the client will go 3 months without realizing that no payroll taxes have been withheld, and we just had so many issues with it. We were like,
Yeah.
man, we're just
Yeah.
gonna move everybody to Gusto. So we move folks to Gusto. Once they're in Gusto, kind of all this kind of stuff you were saying. Hey, I need help onboarding somebody. Hey, I need to do a reimbursement. Hey, there was a mistake on this payroll. Can you help us fix it? We'll fix all those kind of things. We just don't. I've been very hesitant to get into doing actual payroll,
Yeah.
the running of payroll, just because we're a small team. So we're a 3.5, 4-person team.
Mhm.
And a lot of our clients run payroll weekly, and I'm like, I don't want to get stuck in that cycle of being responsible or being on the hook for having
Yeah.
it run. So
Yeah.
have you guys? Your solution to that was basically just bring on a payroll contractor, and okay.
Yeah.
And do you have?
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I around the same time brought on 2 contractors that had extensive payroll experience.
Okay.
Because what we had been doing was my payroll specialist had been preparing, the manual payroll entry, and then I was reviewing it. And that got really stressful because, we had a very short turnaround time with when we
Right.
actually got the hours, because, of course, the timesheet software did not integrate with QuickBooks. So the times were there for us. We, like, literally had to key it in.
Right.
So, we get the hours and the tip allocations on a Monday, and it has to be, like, we have to press the button by, like, 5 PM on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, there were a couple weeks where, like, I brought my laptop to gymnastics while my daughter's out there doing
Trying to
cartwheels,
run,
like,
run a payroll.
working payroll. No.
Yeah. No. Right. I'm with you.
No.
No, that's what gives me the heebie-jeebies. Yeah.
Yeah. So having 2 people, because what if somebody's sick? What if somebody
That's
gets
exactly
by a
my
bus? Like, I don't
Right.
want. Yeah, it's just a lot of liability. So
Right.
if you do get into that, you kind of have to have, I would say, at least 3 people,
Right,
that
redundancy
are
in place,
knowledgeable
yeah.
about the process and able to do it.
Yeah.
Or you could outsource to, another group that does
Right.
like only payroll for you. But yeah, it's once you get into the manual payroll part, it just
It gets tricky.
I don't love it.
Yeah, no, I get that. We don't either. So yeah,
yeah.
for us, it's one of those things that the only reason we even started messing with it was, I mean, kind of like you said, it's every client that if you're doing the bookkeeping, it is, and they have employed, it's inevitable for payroll issues to come up or payroll questions to come up. So even though we don't do the payroll, for most of our clients, like once a month or every other month, they'll have something payroll related come up where we have to jump in. So it was not something that I felt we could really avoid. But yeah, I kind of agree with what you're saying, and that's been exactly my train of thought. Is once we're at the point, my thinking has been, once we're at the point where we have 2 people on the team that are able to do it, then we can explore offering it as a service. But until then, man, it just makes me paranoid. It's like,
Yeah.
right,
Well, I mean, I have it on my website that we offer payroll, but I'm not like marketing payroll.
right.
Like, please, I need more payroll clients. Like,
Exactly.
it's a necessary evil, I think.
Sure.
But I would say on the flip side, I had somebody come to me that was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know that you did bookkeeping. Like, we're just starting payroll. I really need somebody to like manage payroll for me. Can you do it?" And at that point, I hadn't done like the Gusto certification or anything. Like, I had not personally done it myself. And I was
I
like,
gotcha.
"Look, I don't know what's involved. I will learn. Let me figure this out."
Sure.
And he had already picked a payroll service provider, and they had an onboarding person for him already. So after talking with that company representative, I was like, I don't think you need me. I think the service you're paying for is doing everything that you're wanting me to do. So I mean, I talked myself out of a gig with that. So I was like, you do not need me for this. Like,
Right.
it's all, you got it already.
It's handled. Right. Right.
Yes. So thankfully, so much of it is automated now.
Yep.
And it's not like anybody is manually doing every single aspect of payroll. Like you go through Gusto or ADP or something where a lot of it is taken care of by the system for you.
Right.
So in a sense, all of it is payroll monitoring or however you called it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the manual entering of it is something that I'm not loving. But
yeah, just the deadline for me. It's the
done.
deadlines, but you're right. It has to be done, and it's a need. Yeah, and so I think for us it will happen eventually. I just don't know. I have the same kind of hesitations you did, but it's good to hear that they were not insurmountable hesitations.
Yeah, not insurmountable. And if you think about it from your client's perspective, like knowing how we feel about payroll, imagine how they feel about it. Like they got, and they probably feel. I would guess that most of them feel to some degree like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I should have a professional do this. Especially if they're using QuickBooks payroll, they probably really feel like they don't know what they're doing.
Sure.
But yeah, I like your suggestion of like making sure that all of your clients move over to Gusto, and then you would provide support for Gusto only, because that's what I was hoping would happen, but I need to make it happen.
Sure. Like I said, at the beginning we were doing it. We were doing it in QuickBooks Online, but like I said, it just we blew up our kind of budgeted hours a couple too many times, and we're like, we can't keep doing this. So it just kind of became a necessity. And we haven't really had any. I'm trying to think. I don't think we get some pushback when we tell folks they have to move to Gusto, but once people do switch to Gusto, I don't think we've had anybody that's like, oh my god, I hate. Pretty much everybody's like, this is so much cleaner than. So anyway, not plugging Gusto, not here to plug Gusto, but we've liked it. It's not perfect, but it's, my god, it's much better than QuickBooks Online was, at least for us. So So what about your since we're talking about software, how, and you guys are a bookkeeping firm, how do you guys do what software do you guys use to do your month-end close? Because this is something else that we've been talking about. This is kind of
Yeah.
top of mind for me.
Yeah, we use Double, formerly Keeper.
Keeper.
So that was some. Do you guys use that?
No, but so
You have
well,
to.
I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish, and then also yeah.
We started, gosh, probably in June using
Okay.
that. And yeah, I'm trying to remember how many clients I had at that point. I think I only had 2. Yes, we had 2 clients then, and had started using Double. Because I'd heard some chatter about it in the
Yeah.
accounting firm owner
Right.
space, and then I watched some demos, and I'm like, this
Hmm.
is awesome. Like, yeah, this is the cheapest employee I could get, and it's
Yeah.
it would just automate so much. Because QuickBooks, if you're using it from the accountant version, it does have that books review section. And it's not once you go Double, you're not going to go back.
Yeah, go back. Yeah.
It's what I say. It's the AI functionality in there is actually really good from what I can tell.
Gotcha.
It has very, very thorough review steps that it suggests for you. It's not like you're having to create your whole month end review process unless you have one that you're really attached to. It has very, very detailed payee review, expense inconsistency review, which that's the thing,
That's the big
hard,
one, right?
that's the hard thing to catch if it's just you going through the general ledger, say
Right.
did I book this the same this month
Right.
as I did 3 months ago? So things like that, it's just been wildly helpful. And for the most part, it's made things a lot easier. But once you are able to review multiple months at a time, even, then you're like, oh, maybe I have to fix this. And it just highlights things that need to be
That
cleaned
need to
up.
be fixed. Yeah, right.
But that's a good thing. You want to make sure
Sure.
that your data is accurate. So yeah, it has very thorough review for month end close process, but then you can create your report package in the same system and then send it to the client all within the same portal. So it's also been helpful to consolidate client communication because they have a portal where the clients can upload documents that you request, and you're not. I don't know if you guys have encountered this, but you could have your portal communication and email, and they also have your
Yeah.
phone number and
Right.
can text you, and you're on Slack, and there are just lots of places that you can communicate with
The
them.
information can
Um,
kind of
Yes,
get lost.
so having a consolidated place where you and your team can interface with the client, and then whomever is sending them a question can see all of the history, even if they weren't the one to send the question.
Right.
Or we're not asking duplicate questions. It just has really
Right.
helped streamline things. So
Yeah,
I'm a
we
big
use
fan.
well, and everybody I've talked to who's on it is like, "What are you doing? Like, this is
Yeah.
the only answer." Right. And so we have a demo with Keeper or Double. We've got one scheduled. I can't remember if it's end of this week or next week, but
Wednesday.
it's when?
Wednesday.
When am I saying it's Wednesday? Okay, so we've got it on Wednesday.
So what do you do now?
Right now we use Financial Sense, which is our practice management system.
Okay.
It has an integration that's called a recats, where basically it'll bring in transactions from QuickBooks into Financial Sense, and then we can send them to the client from there, right? So for example, we'll link Ask My Accountant or Uncategorized or whatever we'll link those accounts into Financial Sense. It'll import all the transactions, and then we can send those transactions to the client in the Financial Sense client portal, which is where all their other documents and projects exist anyway. And the clients love it because then they don't have to go into QuickBooks. There's no spreadsheets, right? So a lot of the kind of, at least my understanding of kind of what Keeper does. But where it's lacking is there's no month-end close. They're working on it now. They dropped a V1 of it. I wasn't super impressed.
Yeah.
But there's no real month-end close or review tools or it's really just help us code, these weird transactions.
Yeah.
There's no additional kind of structure
Yeah.
beyond that. And so we're going to try Keeper or we're going to try Double and see how it goes. Like I said, everybody I've talked to who's on it says they love it. My concern has been my concerns have been I've had two concerns. One is that everything else we do exists in Financial Sense. So we also do tax work. And so to your point about how, all the client chats, all the documents, all the historical data, right? It's all there. It's all in Financial Sense. And so I'm even though it's maybe not as good as Double would be, I'm like, well, right now it's all in one place. And so now I hate breaking it up into like 3 different portals or 4, you know what I mean? So that's one hesitation. And the other hesitation has just been that right now, I just don't think it's the limiting factor for us. Even if we're not optimized, I'm like, man, we have other stuff that there's a million things you can do to grow the business, but there's only so much time and energy and resources to do it. So anyway, but I say all of that, and I'm still doing the demo with them, on Wednesday. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and there's nothing to say that you have to like switch over your like official client portal to this other software. Like you could just use it for month-end review, and try it for a couple months. And if you don't like it, what have you lost?
Yeah, right. And the time to do it is now. That's kind of why we were like, okay, we need to do it now, or we're just not going to do it until next summer. So we're gonna try it out and see how it goes. Do you guys have a separate practice management system, or you just okay?
No,
so
we were rocking Google Sheets for the task list. I didn't like that. So, so Double, it kind of does function as a practice management system. That's not its full purpose, but it's certainly good enough for what I need and what I'm doing. Okay. I can see a reversion where eventually I switch to a different practice management system. But at least for right now, it's working, and there's a little bit of like email delegation that you can do. So it's got enough of all of that stuff that since I didn't have an existing system, I've just been able to utilize it, and it's been it's been fine. So
sure, okay, well, cool. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna demo it. We're gonna see, and then we'll have to decide if we burn down everything we built in Financial Sense, or if we can take aspects of anyway. That's on the horizon for us. Yeah. But I'm glad to hear that you like I said, I've yet to talk to somebody who isn't like it's awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, cool. So let me circle back to kind of your story about growing the firm. So you how long were you doing it, or were you running your business solo before you started hiring?
Maybe 1 month.
Okay, so you basically started hiring immediately.
Yeah, yes, because I was working on a cleanup. So at that point, I think I was working on like a 6 to 7 month cleanup, and I was implementing project tracking for this client. So getting half a year's worth of transactions flipped over to project tracking. I was spending a lot of time, since I didn't have Double, I couldn't do everything all at once. And it was having to edit, each individual thing for some of these fields. Because there's the reclassify transaction function in QuickBooks, but it doesn't, you can't do that with the customer project field. So that was like really a handicap during that cleanup. And that's when I asked my friend, who's also an accountant, we were in all of our accounting classes in college together. I was like, can you please help me with this? Like, I'm just clicking buttons. Can you click buttons with me? But that was a really good introduction by fire, I guess, to the whole client and how everything was structured. So once we went through that cleanup together and we're both familiar with how the client was set up, it just made sense to continue. And she was able to take care of the bank transactions and the account reconciliations, and we're able to collaborate on just the whole process for the client. So it was pretty fast, I will say.
So your first hire then was somebody technical, like doing the work with you.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And really quick, but I want to keep talking about kind of how your team has grown. But you brought something up. So does Double allow you to bulk reclassify or bulk reassign project? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you experimented with the Right Tool at all?
So
You heard of Right
I
Tool?
like yesterday.
Okay, right on.
I I had installed the Chrome extension,
Yep.
and I just always use Safari instead of Google Chrome, but it's been
I
really
gotcha.
glitchy for me recently. So I'm trying to like, get all my passwords entered in Google.
Yeah.
I could just log in. So yesterday was the first time that I had gotten into QuickBooks through Google Chrome, and then my
Mhm.
extension popped up. I was like, oh, look at these cool things it's doing. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we
Look at that.
love it. We absolutely love it. I'm curious, that's why I brought it up. I was like, we love it. I just if I'm curious, if you just started using it, then maybe I'll follow up with you. But how much Right Tool does that's already being taken care of for you by Double, or if it really is value add, even if you're already rocking.
Yeah, and I just have the free version.
Gotcha.
I'm sure the paid version can probably do everything under the sun.
It does all. There's so many. It does even. There's definitely stuff that it'll do that we just haven't figured out yet. But we love it. Yeah, because when you said sitting there and clicking things one at a time, I was like, yeah, flashbacks. Yeah, exactly.
Well, with so I am in the Right Tool Facebook group and the Double Facebook group, and something that I've really appreciated about both of those groups. I mean, the people who own these products and create the products are in the Facebook group, and they respond to I mean, I could ask Hector, I asked a question in that group actually about how to create a custom report, and Hector responded with exactly what I needed. And I had already asked, I'd polled the studio audience in like 3 other places and hadn't gotten the answer, and he just knows everything there is to know about QuickBooks.
Yeah, right.
And gave me the answer, and I was like, thank you, this is it. This is the thing.
That is huge. But yeah, versus going with like some, giant mega corporation.
Yeah, so like either or both is like you're gonna get so much customer support that's really fast, and it's like real people.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I've been impressed with both of the support systems that they built for these platforms.
Yeah, like I said, I had to quickly plug Right Tool because we absolutely love it, and it's a game changer when it comes to all that tedious kind of manual entry stuff. But yeah, so okay, so your first hire then was another accounting team member, so they're doing bookkeeping with you. And then who did you bring on after that?
After that, it was somebody that initially I was like, I need payroll help first and foremost. I need somebody that can do payroll, and somebody with restaurant industry experience, because so that client that I was bringing on actually had 3 different businesses, so it more than doubled my client load overnight, and it was an industry that I had not personally worked with before.
They had 3 unique restaurants or 3 locations of...
No, 2 unique restaurants and then 1 like consulting business.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, it's not like it's the same restaurant with 2 locations. It's 2 totally different things.
2 different, right.
So it was thankfully I could see the train coming. I was like, okay, I gotta do something. I cannot do this myself. And so I had somebody onboarded to help before the client was onboarded, thankfully, because otherwise it would have been just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So second hire was also a contractor she's been my lead on those 2 clients. And then quickly after that also hired a contractor to help with like month-end close management. And then have recently started working with some other contractors as well to help with like the base level bank transactions, hopefully for all of my clients, so that the team members that I already have that are very, very familiar with the nitty-gritty details for all of these clients, I can utilize their time on more like higher level analysis. And right now I'm the one putting together all of the custom reports
Gotcha.
and all of the add-on services like invoicing, bill pay, that's all me, and it needs to
Mhm.
not all be me right now.
Yeah, I
So
understand. That makes
I'm,
sense.
I think one of the things that I'm apparently I've been good enough at is seeing, okay, this isn't working. We're not going to just white knuckle it. We're going to do something different.
Sure.
Man, it in the long run doesn't help anybody to do that. Um, so I'm sure if you ask my team, they'd be like, she changes plans every month.
Oh, that's
But
how it's
you know,
part of the fun.
we're
Yeah.
I don't have any interest in sticking with something that isn't working. So we're just continually refining the process. So yeah, I had initially thought that it made sense to have like one team member assigned to a client, because all of my team members work part-time. Also, like none of us are full-time.
Full-time. Gotcha.
Because that would change things if
Sure.
somebody was full-time. But my thinking initially was, great, I'll just have one person that's assigned to this client and they can do A to Z, the whole thing.
Right.
And now the approach that I'm going for is I need to have a team member or a group of team members responsible for like the base level bookkeeping tasks. And then I need to have a different person who reviews all of that.
Yep.
And then that reviewer can also help prepare the financial statements and do the analysis and provide comments for the clients. And then I come in at the end and review it and make sure that everything is Gucci.
Sure.
But yeah, having more than one set of eyes on a client, I'm realizing, is crucial. Like it
Yeah.
cannot be one person.
Right. No, right. And we're
Yeah.
the same way, because it's crazy. It's crazy what a difference having a fresh set of eyes look at something
Yes.
can make. Even if it's, I mean, even if it's just looking at it the next day and say
Mhm.
like that's something that we start, at least on the tax side, is like, don't review anything the same day you prep it, because
Yeah.
you're you know what I mean, you're just zoned in, and the tunnel vision will get you. So no, that makes sense. Do you guys have you added any admin kind of support, or is everybody on the team doing the actual work?
Yeah. So tomorrow I have an admin assistant
Woo!
starting. I'm so
Congrats.
excited. Thanks. Again, I'm not interested in doing something that isn't working for an extended period of time. And right now I am a month behind on some emails, which is not acceptable.
Sure,
and I'm
not
also
ideal, right?
like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So a bookkeeping buddy of mine is working with a virtual assistant, and like I remembered her saying something about that probably a year ago. And then once I get something in my head, like, oh, maybe I need an office manager or an admin assistant, it's like 24 hours later I've got somebody hired, kind of thing.
Well, that's good. You're on it.
No, let's just get it done. So I had remembered that she had said that and reached out to her, and she said, yes, she's awesome. Let me put you in touch with this agency. So actually that same bookkeeper, or not bookkeeper, sorry, the same virtual assistant that my buddy recommended is also going to be my virtual assistant, and she's already
very cool.
trained up on all of the like bookkeeping assistant things. So I'm very optimistic and so excited because, man, the admin
Yeah.
is just killing me right now. It really is.
It was an absolute game changer for us. So that was the third person that we brought in was an admin, Marissa, and man, just having somebody to do the intake of information and to manage. But the way we think about it in our business is her job is to get projects ready so that the actual accounting team can do the work without having can do the work and finish the work without having to have back and forth with the client, right? And so what it's done for us, at least on our end, is basically we can pick up a project and know that when I sit down to work on it, everything is already there and we just finish. And there's you're not jumping in and out of email, you're not chatting. And then to your point earlier about, hey, we got these 5 different places that information's coming through. Having somebody whose only job is to kind of run interference on those and consolidate everything in one place.
Yeah.
Game changer. So very excited for you. I think that's going to be a huge unlock.
I
I couldn't go back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I feel ridiculous being like, "Oh, I have an assistant," but good grief, I need an assistant, you know?
Yeah, right.
Like, it's so important, and I think I had fallen into the trap of thinking like, "Oh, the more team members I add, the easier it will get," and, it turned out to not be the
No, it's not necessarily
you
the
know,
case,
in
sure.
some ways, yes, in the sense that I'm not doing every single task for the actual client work, but with each team member comes more admin work, and
Yep, more
I'm,
things to manage.
forwarding emails and, "Hey, can you do this?" And
Right.
I was spending just as much time doing admin work as I was doing client work if it had just been me.
Right.
So, yeah, again, 2 or 3 months into that, something had to change, so
No, I
I'm
agree.
excited.
Yeah, being able to move yourself out of being the funnel or the focal point for
Mhm.
all information flow, I think. Yeah, one, it gives you back a ton of time, but I think even more important than the time you get back is just the attention that you get back.
Mhm.
Because uh, even if you're sitting there working on a project, at least if you're like me, you'd be sitting there working and getting stuff done. But I know that I've got 17 unread email, and I'm thinking about that client that's waiting on me to get back to them that I haven't answered
Yeah,
since Tuesday, right? And I hate that. I hate
yeah,
that. So, yeah, I think that's gonna be awesome for you. That's
yeah.
exciting. Where are you finding these folks? Because
Uh
you're hiring quick.
I'm hiring quick. Actually, the most useful recruiting tool has been Facebook groups,
Yeah.
which is just funny. Uh, I wouldn't set out to do all of my hiring through Facebook groups. That's just kind
Hmm.
of, I had just gotten in the habit of if I had a question or needed some insight from somebody. There's a bookkeeping business owner face group, or there's the double Facebook group.
Uh-huh.
Um, so, I call it polling the studio audience, and I would just say like, "Hey, I need help with payroll." Um, so yeah, my second hire, I had sent up a white flag in the Facebook group, and I said, "I have a client coming that needs payroll and this, that, and the other thing. Help." I'm gonna post or make a job posting, but does anybody in this group have any interest in helping? And she said, "Yeah, I can help." And we had a face, or not a FaceTime, but like a Zoom call, and hit it off. And she's got a ton of experience, and it just has worked
Just
out
just
really, really
clicks.
well. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
awesome that you've been able to find people because that's one of the common complaints is everybody says, man, it's really hard to find people.
yeah.
Do you think that you said all your team members are remote or sorry, are part-time, right?
Yes, all my team members are part-time. They're all remote. So the third person that I hired through the Mom Project.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh,
and
okay. Very cool.
so that was my first like official, recruiting avenue. And then the more recent team members that I'm working with now found through a Facebook group also. So it's kind of been a little bit of everything. But I was gonna ask you that as well, because I in multiple ways feel like I'm the bottleneck for the
Yeah.
business. So I'm trying to delegate the bookkeeping tasks, and next I need to delegate prepping the financial statements.
Yeah.
Um, but ultimately, like the type of comments that we're providing and like how they're formatted, and
Right.
just yeah, I'm the one having all of the monthly meetings with clients. Like there's a lot of information that I'm the only one that has it right
Yeah.
now. So I think I need to be strategic about bringing on somebody to help with controller services, and am not feeling as confident with
On that.
my ability to find somebody to
Yeah.
do that.
I mean, I think I mean, I part of the challenge in hiring, I think, is just making sure that as you hire, you protect you don't get on a treadmill, right? And you're protecting your margin. Because theoretically, right, if you're not worried about the margin, you can just keep hiring and you'll do less and less
Yeah.
work, but you'll, right. So, I think that's kind of a pitfall or a potential kind of hamster wheel that you can find yourself on is saying,
Mhm.
okay, we're hiring and the team is growing and we're doing more stuff. but the end of the day, it's the same as when it was just me, right? And so,
Yeah.
I do think that's kind of, I mean, for me, the next person, the person that I've been kind of thinking about, we need like a senior tax person.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the same kind of concern. It's like, I think this person's going to be harder to find.
Yeah.
But a part of that, I think too, is just those are kind of the more expensive roles to fill. And
Yeah.
so, I think there's a middle ground. I think there's like a no man's land where you have to get, at least in our business, like kind of map it out. And I'm like, we need to get to this volume
Mm-hmm.
to be able to afford the person that we're looking for. But the thing is, it's hard to get to that volume without that person. And so I think you kind of get into this no man's land where you just have to either stay on one side and just make it run it super efficient, or
Mm-hmm.
push through and say, we're just going to grind it out for a couple months and get to
Yeah.
the point where we can sustain this person. But I'm with you. I think that's tricky. And I do think I was going to ask. I think the part-time hires. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you, but I think my suspicion is that that's probably made it easier to find high-quality people quickly. Because I do think there's a big demand for quality remote part-time jobs.
Yes. Yeah. And yes. And something I forgot to say during my initial intro, I guess, was, when I had left the workforce, and even before that, the conflict of, I had these responsibilities at home that I didn't
Yeah.
have before, and perhaps felt those responsibilities more strongly than my husband did, not because
Sure.
of him, but I think it's just moms and like women
Yeah.
feel a certain like level of guilt and responsibility that society has placed on us.
I would agree. We're in the same position. Like
Yeah.
my we've got young kids. My wife left the workforce, and
Yeah.
this is something I see through her eyes like all
Yes.
the time. So
Yes.
yeah, I
Right.
I don't disagree.
I don't know of any dads that when, they started having kids, it's like, am I gonna work part-time, or am
Am I gonna? Yeah, I might. I need to. Right. I think you're right.
So there's that extra, there's just that extra like stress and pressure and desire to
Yeah.
be with your kids and
Right.
everything that makes it really tricky. And going part-time was good, but still didn't give me quite the flexibility that I needed. And then when I was home and looking for something remote, I was actually trying to find a remote bookkeeping position where I could contract for somebody else.
Right.
I was initially not wanting to start my own business and could not find, I mean, there were plenty of positions, but because I didn't have I couldn't check the box of saying I have 1 year of QuickBooks experience, even though I had 6 years of experience.
Of accounting experience at a Fortune 500. Yeah.
I can do this.
Right. I can
I
figure
can do
this
it.
out. Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I was just in this really unique position of, I have the skill set, and yet I cannot find a way to make money that also allows me to be home with my kid and have control over my schedule. So I mean, I've lived that, and it's been it was very hard. So now, being on the business owner side of things, it is, I mean, one of my like core values and goals of my business is to be able to be that source of employment for other women. So initially I had this dream of like, everybody who works for me is going to be a friend from my old job, and everybody left and to stay home with babies, but they're all super smart and we can all work during nap time and it'll just be fine. And not everybody is as excited to do that as I was.
Sure.
I had tried really hard to get my mom friends with itty bitty babies to work with me, and they were like, they just weren't quite as excited. But there is, I think, a wide range of parents or people who, maybe not even parents, but like maybe you have your own parent that is needing more assistance as they get older and you need more flexibility. Like, there are lots of people as caregivers that need something flexible. So it's hugely important to me that I'm able to provide a flexible work environment for people. So it's something that I'm proud of, that I've been able to hire moms that either, have little kids, or they've got kids that are in high school that, they still need to be around a little bit, but the kids are a lot more independent and self-sufficient, and the moms are like, I'm bored. Like,
Right.
for the last 10 years or however many years, I've been doing something every day with my kids, and they don't need me as much anymore. So
Yeah.
what do I
Right.
do?
Right. I
Yeah.
do. Right. Right.
So it's been, I think the mom workforce is ripe with opportunity. There are lots of
No,
really qualified people in that space that are looking for something very flexible and part-time. So it's been awesome.
yeah, that's kind of been, like I said, from like, outsider looking in, not trying to like mansplain it, but like that's kind of been my kind of experience as well. And I think that one, I think it's super cool that you're doing that and filling that need, because like I said, I do think, just through my wife's experience and through other people that we know, I do think that is like a very real need. But two, just pragmatically, like from a business owner perspective, I think it gives you, at least my experience, I won't speak for you, but my experience has been, because our admin is a very similar,
Yeah.
similar, was in a very similar type of situation. And I think we were able to get more, I don't think we'd be able to afford her in like a full-time traditional office setting.
Yeah.
But but because we can offer this part-time, very flexible working arrangement, all of a sudden it gives us talent arbitrage, where basically we're able to get better talent than we would have otherwise been able to get, kind of at where we are today in the stage of our business, by being flexible. So I don't think it's my point. There's our experience has been that it's not a cost to the business or a hurdle that we have to overcome. It's like, for us, it's been a benefit. Because you're just able to get more talented people by offering that flexibility.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, I think that's super cool. So what's next for you? Like, what, as you continue to grow, because you brought up the part-time thing brings up, at least to me, how do you think about growth, right? Because
Yeah.
I take it that your goal is not just growth at all costs, and we're just gonna make this So how do you think about growth, and where do you think you're headed next?
Yeah. So initially, like when I started my business, like I said, I just planned on it being me. Maybe I would have like 3 small mom and pop shop clients, and I could get it done during nap time. And then right out of the gate, it was not that. It was, which I'm so grateful for. But I feel like I jumped ahead a lot of steps from where I had imagined like the growth would be. And then, I mean, truly, it's been like, this is where I shine. Like, because they're not, I mean, it's not all about revenue, and I don't want to say
No,
that,
sure,
make it
sure.
seem like that's what I'm conveying. But it's different when you have a smaller client that they're like, we got to pay the bills, and
Right. Right.
they're just stressed about cash flow versus let's really figure out what our key performance indicators are, and like helping the client identify those, and then being able to show them, and then see things start clicking in their mind, and being an advisor more than just I'm categorizing expenses.
No,
So
I completely agree.
that was an unexpected, very exciting thing. So I got to get back to the growth question. I feel like up until this point, I have not been proactive about setting my own growth goals. The growth has happened, and I have I've adjusted for that, and I've also I've not been proactive about like marketing and trying to get my ideal client. It's just kind of been whoever comes to me through word of mouth. And I had an experience. Sorry, I need to take some tea real quick.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
Had an experience recently where had a potential client, and after talking with them, I was like, this is not my ideal client. It was the first time that I had talked with somebody and was like, I don't think I
It's
want
not a
this to
fit.
progress.
Yeah.
So I mean, I really did some soul searching over that weekend and decided I think I need to put my money where my mouth is and like put forth the resources to find my ideal client so that like my firm and my team can really do what we're great at and we're not just like building the team to meet client needs. Like we have a team that's really good at X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
Let's serve those clients.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now I feel like I'm being proactive about growth for the first time actually, which is exciting. So I've started working with a marketing group that like they
Very cool.
specialize with accounting firms. So I'm very excited and am expecting that to work out for me and help me one figure out what my ideal client is because
Yeah.
I mean I have a hard time saying no. Like if anybody came to me and was like, "Can you help me with bookkeeping?" I'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah. That's
um
yeah.
yeah, I don't feel like I'm at a place emotionally maybe to say no to somebody. But if if I had the right type of clients and was meeting my revenue goals and operating expenses are where they need to be and all that, then maybe being able to pick the clients that I want,
Yeah.
that would just be the next stage that I'm not there yet. But
Gotcha.
it would be nice to get to a point where I don't feel like I have to say yes to everybody.
Right. No, and I do think that's a big I do think that's a big unlock when you get to the point, yeah, where you start to get more comfortable. And I'm, I think that's like a gradual thing.
Yeah.
Or like there's levels to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, being at the point where you're comfortable saying no to work, I think
Yeah.
that's huge. Because yeah, I mean, you can sell your way into not a good time very quick if you're not careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do think that's one of the advantages we have in this space is there's such a demand. But yeah, my goodness, yeah, you get some calls and you're like, I know
Ugh.
we can help this person, but you're like, like you look at the schedule and yeah. Anyway, things get busy really quick. So no, I get that. That makes a lot of sense to me. But so for you, it's less of a revenue thing, or it's less of a numbers thing, and more of being able to protect like the lifestyle. Or is that fair?
Yeah. Because I am a workaholic for sure. And if I know that something needs to be done, I have a really hard time like disconnecting from work and
Yeah,
being
that's similar.
present with anything else.
Yeah.
So I mean for over a month there, I mean I wasn't taking a day off. I was working on Saturday, Sunday, just as soon as my kids went to bed, I was working for hours
Right.
and just was never not working. And was realizing that I was like actually unable to enjoy time with my family because I was like, I've got that thing I need to do. I need to like answer emails. I need to run that report. So a couple of weekends ago, I was like, I know that there's a ton of work to do. I am not working on Saturday. I'm not going to do it for a couple of weeks. And it took probably like 2 or 3 weeks for my brain to like snap out of it. But since doing that, like, surprise, surprise, it's good to take a rest and a break.
That's all right. Right. Quality of life has improved. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not earth-shattering information that it was for me. Now I am able to say, we should go for a walk as a family, and that sounds enjoyable versus
Like checking your email like 7 times.
Yeah, I was like, I can't do anything. Yeah. So it's I don't remember what your question was.
No, but it just I think that's a refreshing take on growth. Yeah, because man, I'm the same way. As I'm a people pleaser, and so we get these client call or these potential client calls, and I just want to help. But then, but you do that too many times, or you do that too quickly,
Mhm.
And you get to the point where one, you do a disservice to your existing client base because you're running everything too thin, or you do a disservice to to your family or your personal life, right? Which and then it's kind of, what's the point? Why do we do this to begin with? So
Right.
I think that's wise, and I think that like you said, it's not necessarily an earth-shattering revelation, but I think it's definitely easier said than done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we all kind of get it, but
Yeah.
it can be hard to do it.
Yeah. And when
Yeah.
you like what you do, like I
Yeah, right.
love it. I would rather do this than dishes. I would rather do this than so many other things, right? So
Right.
it's hard to like pull yourself away from it
And
sometimes.
turn it off. Yeah.
I think one of the reasons that I was so keen to hire more people over the summer, or in the fall, was my oldest daughter started kindergarten, and
It's exciting.
went from being home with me all the time,
Mhm.
which were like, she is why I left the workforce.
Right.
And all of a sudden, my time with her every single day is gone. I'm never getting that back again, right?
Right.
And I knew it was coming, but when it comes, it's a moment.
Sure.
It's
Sure.
a moment. So yeah, just wondering, like, did I do the best thing for her in the 5 years that I had in
Right.
that unique phase of her life? And let's not forget, I have a second daughter who's
Right.
in that right now. Like, do I want to be just like killing myself with work for the next 2 years until she gets to kindergarten? And then I'm like, oh, thank goodness, now I can work full time. you
Yeah.
know?
Right. Right.
So what I've been reminding myself is, it is really important for me that 3 out of the 5 days of the work week, I'm able to go for a walk at 9 o'clock in the morning with my 3-year-old.
Yeah,
and
of
I'm
course.
not working, and I'm not there yet, but that's the goal. That's what I'm trying to make space for, and remembering, like, that's why I'm doing this whole thing anyway.
Yeah, to begin with.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the goal was just to make a ton of money or something, I would have stayed in corporate America.
Mhm.
I would have a 401k, yeah, it's the the revenue goal or whatever is not the end all be all.
Yeah, it comes secondary. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like I said,
definitely.
that makes perfect sense. Well, yeah, it's one of those things that it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have, to say that I'm growing fast enough to where, like, I have to think about how do I control this growth.
Yeah.
But man, it's still a problem.
Yeah.
So no, it's cool kind of hearing your take on it.
Yeah.
Well, cool. All right. Well, I mean, let's go ahead and transition. So, kind of the closeout bit of the show is, we're asking everybody that comes on kind of the same 5 closeout questions.
Okay.
And so we'll just kind of go through them, and we can wrap up with that. So the first question is, what is your favorite business book?
My favorite business book. So I'm reading The Accountant Marketer. Excuse me. The Accountant Marketer right now by, man, my voice is given out.
Oh, it's okay.
It's held on this long.
Yeah.
The Accountant Marketer by Karen Rayburn, I think.
Okay.
And that's just fabulous.
It's been
Like,
good.
fabulous.
I'm
Love
adding
it.
it to the list. I haven't heard of it. I'm adding it to the
Yeah,
list.
it's so good. Because I feel like accounting, or not accounting, but marketing doesn't come very naturally to most accountants.
Yep.
And there's an old school way of doing things that, if you want to be an old school accountant with no time and the golden handcuffs, then do the old school way. But there's a
Right.
different way to do things that we should probably be educated on and pursue, and modernize our firms and all of the things, right? So that's been really interesting, and that's the audiobook I'm listening to on my walks these
Yeah.
days. It's really good.
No, that's super cool. I'm adding it to the list. I could have gone another 30 minutes and asked you about the marketing agency. Maybe we'll have to have you back. We can talk about
Yeah.
the marketing agency, what your experience was there. But I'll definitely check it out, because yeah, marketing is a whole other can of worms that we could have gone into. But yeah, okay. So question number 2: what is one system or tool that you couldn't live without, or you couldn't run your business without?
Double, for sure.
Double. Done. Got
Like,
that
what?
one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, No hesitation there.
Well, I'll report back my findings. Like I said, everybody I talk to says the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, how many times am I going to listen to people plug double
Yeah.
and not give it a
I'm
try?
interested to hear
Yeah.
your take, since you already
Yeah.
have a practice management system. See
Yeah,
what
that's the piece we'll have to figure out. But everybody, literally 100% of people plug it. I can't. Yeah, there's something there. So I'm excited for it. Okay. What about, do you have any events or conferences that you're planning on going to in the next year?
Nope.
No? Okay.
No.
Easy.
I've been seeing some things on LinkedIn about different conferences that people are going to, and that kind of thing has never interested me before, but now it kind of does.
Yeah.
So perhaps it would be something that would be fun to do, but yeah, I hadn't actually considered it. But I think it would be fun because I've really enjoyed. We talked about this a little bit before we started, but I've really enjoyed getting to meet other accountants and other accounting firm owners. So I think it would probably be fun to go to an event like that, but I have not gone to any yet.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I mean, that's exactly why we decided we were going to start doing this, is to get to know as many people as we could in the space and kind of talk through, what people are experiencing, what people are doing, and all the different perspectives. And yeah, these questions are all questions that we selfishly want to ask other people. And so, yeah,
Right.
the events and conferences, like we also haven't been super engaged. But exactly. That's like, I'm on the hunt. It's like, where are we going? So, okay, very cool. Well, I'll let you know if I find any good, we had some good ones lined up. I'll let you know.
Good.
Okay. What about hobbies? What do you do? I know you got young kids, but when you're not running the business or hanging out with the kiddos, any other hobbies?
Yeah. I really love personal finance. So kind of an extension of what I need better hobbies probably is the real.
No, I'm with you. That counts as a hobby. I'll count that. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. I'm learning about like SEP IRAs and 401k, like solo 401ks. Man, love it. I just that's what's really been scratching the itch recently is learning about that whole thing, and also thinking about how that relates to being a business owner, because when you're a W-2 employee, you've got the 401k, and your path is kind of set.
Yeah, you don't think about it, right?
Your options are what they are, and now there's just a whole other world that I get to learn about. So there's the second book I was gonna list earlier isn't a business book per se. It's more of a personal finance book, but it's called what's it called? Maybe it's Making a Millionaire. It's by Brian Preston. Millionaire Mission. That's what it's called.
Millionaire Mission.
Millionaire Mission.
I pride myself on thinking that I've read just about everything in the personal finance space, but I have not heard of that one. So I'm putting that one's going on the list too.
Good. It is so good. So it's not geared towards only entrepreneurs, but there's lots of information in there that is applicable. And so Brian, the author, says he loves to build a better mousetrap, and that. I love that too. Like how can I finesse this HSA account to, there's just a lot of things that if I feel like I'm like squeezing the most benefit out of a process, man, I love that. So
yeah. No, I can definitely nerd out on some. My wife is not a personal finance person, and I very much am. And yeah, we'll I'll try to have these kind of conversations, and her eyes just kind of glaze over. So I get it. Like I said, I'll count that as a hobby. I think that's definitely hobby criteria.
Thank you for affirming me.
yeah. No, that counts. That counts. Well, cool. What about last question? Where can people go to connect with you or find out more about you?
Yeah. So I'm most active on LinkedIn probably, but we'll see what the marketing agency has me do. I'll probably be more places, but I do have my website at Dozier Financial Services.com, and I've got links to my Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn on there.
Right on. Well, perfect. And then you mentioned you're also in in Realize, right? In the JC
Yes.
Stats group. Yeah.
That's in the Realize
Okay.
group.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Man, I love that group. But well, anyway, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, Lauren, hey, I really appreciate you taking the time to kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and the business and sharing with us. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, and like I said, I owe you due outs. I owe you an update on double and whether we make the switch. I will definitely let you know. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
So but yeah, seriously, thank you so much for taking the time. It was a pleasure meeting you and chatting with you. And we'll definitely let you know what we end up doing on the tech space.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks so much for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
All right. Well, that wraps up episode 4 with Lauren Dozier. Lauren, thank you again for coming on the show. Had a great time chatting with Lauren. And yeah, dude, I thought that was a great interview. I don't know what you thought, but
Yeah, I found it interesting. I think that a lot of her stuff, kind of like we said in the intro, echoed some of what previous guests that we've had on said, but she had her own kind of unique insights, and particularly around the specific service packages they offer, like we were discussing. And I don't know, I don't know how far away we'd be from trying to put together something like that ourselves based on how we're currently laid out.
well, it's in the
It's
works.
something to keep kind of in the back of mind, and
yeah, I mean, we're gonna be
build our proficiency in as we go.
well, we're gonna be hopefully my voice. Maybe my voice cracked. I don't know. We'll see when we hear the edit. That was
That's thinning. That's thinning.
yeah. Well, we'll see. But yeah, I thought I agree. My big takeaway, I mean, we talked about it briefly during the intro, was just one of my takeaways on the controllership services side. I definitely want to relook at our monthly bookkeeping packages, and I don't know if it's something that we would pitch to new clients, or if we want to create a separate kind of package, like an upsell package for existing clients. Because a lot of the new clients we get
using.
Sorry, go ahead.
We have talked about using Ramp more and more.
Yeah, we're
both in
trying to
our
use
own
Ramp
business
more,
and then with clients as well. And I don't know if this would kind of touch that area.
I think so. I mean, I think they're separate, but I do think they're tied. I think for me, it's most of the new clients we get on the bookkeeping side, and feel free to correct me if you disagree, but come to us and have an element of what I'll call being a total dumpster fire at the time they come to us, which, I guess is part of why they come, right? But so I'm hesitant to, I don't like adding complexity to clients that it's like we just need a P&L, right? Like that's phase 1, right? And it takes us a couple months to kind of get them back on the bike, so to speak. So maybe as like a potential upsell package. But yeah, I mean, in the coming weeks, right now, as of the date that we're putting this together, we're in early December, and we're doing our tax renewals right now. Once the tax renewals are done, we'll prep for our kind of cascading bookkeeping renewals, and I think this is definitely something we'll circle back to and hash out how we want
scheduled to look at
how we want
our
to approach
service
this
plans. Yeah. And
so,
I mean, I think that there's room there. I think, like you say, there's always more we could do. It's just keeping the level of service high for what we're providing.
Sure. Yeah, but dude, all in all, great interview. Again, had a blast chatting with Lauren, and hopefully you guys enjoyed as well. If you did, please do us a favor and drop us a like or leave us a comment wherever you're listening. We'd really appreciate it, or share this show with somebody else who's out there running an accounting firm or thinking about starting an accounting firm that might benefit from it. If you want to be a guest on the show, we'll leave a link, or somebody who might. We'll leave a link to that in the show notes as well. Matt, you got anything else?
Yeah, I mean, like you said before, we're just kind of doing this for our own knowledge building, and I guess it serves the dual purpose of just having like a presence. So any feedback or any people that want to come on, definitely connect with us, and look forward to speaking with you. Yeah,
we're definitely open to feedback. But if you're gonna leave us a review, man, leave a 5-star review or don't bother. The feedback can come in an email, but the review better be 5 stars. Otherwise, we'll come after you. But no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think if that does it, then we'll go ahead and wrap this one up, and we'll
Yep.
see you guys next week.
See you in the
episode
next
5.
one.